Hey everyone, my name's Felicia and I'm going to be guiding you through an elements class called Reconnect, where we kind of combine a little bit of movements, a little bit of yin, a little bit of myofascial release. So you will definitely need one tennis ball for this sequence. Steal one from your dog. I would say if you have a dog and you have one of those balls that's a Kong, it may be a little too hard. So I would definitely recommend a tennis ball. If you have a lacrosse ball at home, that's fantastic. You'll definitely need a ball for this myofascial release. I'm also going to recommend a block. If you do not have a block at home, you can use a really sturdy book. You know what I'm talking about, one of those huge calculus books that you couldn't get your money back for, that's like now supporting your kitchen table or your bed. That book, grab that book. That's a nice sturdy surface and also a nice wide spine. You'll use the spine of the book for this myofascial release. You'll see when we get into it. So a tennis ball and a block or a really sturdy book, and we will go ahead and get started. So set your block or your book off to the side. We're going to start with that tennis ball. We're going to place it under the right foot. So starting with the legs, hips distance apart, take the ball of your right foot onto the ball and just let the heel rest into the mat and start to move your foot from side to side. Just getting a myofascial release for the ball of the right foot. So there's a ton I can say, I won't have enough time for it, but in reflexology, you have a bunch of acupressure points in your foot that relate to every single organ in the body. So doing this gentle release on the foot can actually help stimulate the organs in the body. Another breath here. Just gently moving the ball from side to side. And then go ahead and slide the tennis ball back to the heel of your foot. And then press into the ball of your foot so you're kind of in like a Barbie heel. And same thing, move the heel of the foot from side to side. Great thing about this myofascial release is that you can control how much pressure. So if you need a little more, maybe you step into that heel a little bit. If you need a little less, back off. Also, if your balance is off here, a wall is amazing. Just find a wall, put your left hand on the wall for some support. Another breath here. Then start to move the foot forward and back. You can readjust that tennis ball. You may lose the tennis ball, that's fine. Just run after it. Get it before the dog does. And just slide the ball under that right foot. You can stop at any place in between the arc of your foot. So this midpoint, I know, contains your liver, kidney, a lot of the major organs. So getting a nice self-foot massage here. One more breath. And then just start to scribble the foot, just a nice amount of pressure. You can just roll the foot forward and back. You can start to scribble like you're trying to write something on the mat. It's a nice release for the bottom of the foot. And then set the tennis ball off to the side. Place your right foot down. Take those arms along your side. Palms can face your thighs. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more breaths here. Another deep inhale. Deep outhale. 1 more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Just noticing the difference between your right foot and the left. And then we'll even out the sides. So taking the ball of your foot to the ball, putting your weight on the heel, and then just moving the foot from side to side. Massaging out the ball of the foot play around with the width. So I am not a reflexologist or acupuncturist, so don't quote me on this, but I do have friends in the biz and know the toes, the toes and the ball of your foot contain your sinus cavities. So if you've got sinus issues, rolling on the ball in this area can be really beneficial. One more breath. And then slide the foot forward, coming to that heel, placing the weight on the ball of the foot, and then the tennis ball goes to the heel, and move the foot from side to side. Back towards the heel contains your sciatic nerve. So super beneficial if you have sciatic issues to roll this tennis ball on the heel of your foot. Try to make the movement all about the foot. I caught myself swaying my hips a little bit there. One more breath. And then start to move the tennis ball up and down the left foot. Again, taking your time, applying as much pressure as you need. You can always hang out in the middle of the foot. Getting a nice release through the whole foot, sending energy up through the entire body. One more breath. And then find that scribble with the ball. Just a light pressure, rolling up and down, spinning the foot around. And then bring the foot back to stillness. Lower it down right under the hips so those feet are hips distance apart. Bring the palms, face them towards your hips. Roll those shoulders up towards the ears and let them roll down the back. 3 deep breaths. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. One more inhale and exhale. And your next inhale, raise those arms up towards the sky. Bring the palms together and then exhale the palms to heart center. On your inhale, separate the palms, round the arms up towards the sky. Palms come together. Exhale the palms to heart center. Inhale, release arms back up to the sky. Palms together. Exhale them down to the heart. One more, release the palms, inhale the arms up to the sky, and on your exhale, hinge forward, finding your forward fold. We will hang out here for a couple breaths, so you can bend those knees as much as you need. Key here is to get those sit bones rising up towards the sky. So you can inhale, plant the palms or place them into the calves, find your halfway lift. And on your exhale, fold on in. Hands can stay planted on the mats, or you can grab elbow to elbow for your ragdoll. You can sway the head, the neck from side to side. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can press into the calves or the thighs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky. Exhale, take your left wrist, find a slight bend over to the right. So press into that left foot. Feel this nice stretch through the left side body. Inhale, hands back up to the sky. Exhale, take that right wrist, bend over to the left. Press into that right foot so you can feel the stretch through the right side body. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, palms come together. Find that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to the sky. Arms come up to the sky. This time, bend your right elbow. Place your right hand on your upper back. Take the left palm, gently press into that right elbow. Feeling this stretch all along through the back of that right arm. Inhale, arms raise back to the sky. Exhale, bend your left elbow. Right palm gently presses into that left elbow. Feeling the stretch all along through the back of the left arm. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise all the way on up to the sky. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Walk those feet into touch. Taking a deep breath in, we lengthen. Exhale, we seat the butt back, bending into the knees for your chair pose. Just for a breath. And on your inhale, we'll come on up to the balls of the feet that we just worked with the tennis ball. And your exhale will slowly lower all the way down to the seat. There we go. Taking the tennis ball, setting it off to the side, and then finding your block or your book. We'll start to work on that side body we just stretched, getting the subscapular area in this myofascial release. So we'll take the block, we'll start on the left side, placing the block on the medium setting towards the back of your mat, and then taking your left hip towards the block. If this is too much on the hips when we begin to lay down on the block, you can take a blanket under the hips for some support and just stacking the knees however is comfortable. The idea is we're going to start to lay on down onto the left elbow. This block is going to go right under the armpit. So right at the bottom edge, what we want is the edge of this block to create a pressure point in that armpit area for the subscapular area. So with our left hip towards the block, begin to lower on down to the left elbow. Now you can readjust as you need. You'll know when you've hit the spot. It's not comfortable. So these myofascial release techniques are similar to a deep tissue massage. So finding that spot where the block, maybe it's that lower edge of the block, is pressing right underneath the armpit. And your head will rest in the palm of your hand. Your right palm can rest on the earth for some support. Or you can take that right hand, place it on the right hip or the right thigh. Just beginning to settle into the breaths. So this pressure point is actually the start of one of our meridians that connects to the heart. So although uncomfortable in nature, and by uncomfortable I mean on a scale of 1 to 10, you're at a 3 or a 4. If you are feeling sharp shooting pains or any real localized pain, please back out of the pose. You can readjust as needed, or you can come completely out. Here for a few more breaths. But although uncomfortable in nature, this pose is actually really great for anxiety. If you're having heart palpitations or your heart is racing super fast, finding this pressure point can actually help release that anxiety. Another deep breath in, deep breath out. And on your inhale, press into your right palm. Remove the head from your left palm. Begin to make your way back to your seated pose. Set the block off to the side. Find your tabletop. We're going to release that subscapular area. Finding a couple rounds of cat-cow. So from tabletop, your hands are directly under your shoulders, fingers out wide. Knees are directly under the hips. And that core is nice and strong, creating that nice flat back. On your inhale, your belly will drop. The crown of your head will raise up towards the sky, releasing the abdominal wall. And on your exhale, really press into the palms around the spine, drop the head and the neck. Feeling that release in the armpit. Inhale, belly drops. Crown raises up towards the sky. Exhale, press into those palms around the spine, drop the head and the neck. One more, inhale, belly drops, crown of the head reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, press into the palms, round the spine, drop the head and the neck. Inhale, neutral tabletop. Make your way back onto your seat. We'll find our subscapular release on the right side. So setting up your block or your book on the medium setting, taking your right hip towards the block. Setting a blanket under the hips if the hips are cranky against the floor. And then beginning to lower on down to your right elbow. Sliding the block under the armpit. Again, readjusting as you need. You know you will have found the spot because it will talk to you. And just letting the crown of your head, or the right side of your head, rest in your right palm. Left palm can stay planted into the mat for support, or the left palm can just rest on your left hip. If you're still trying to find that spot, you can play around with your edge, as we call it in yin, by rolling slightly forward, rolling slightly back, very minor movements, until you find that spot that's uncomfortable, but not painful. There's a difference. And beginning to settle in to the uncomfortable. Again, very similar to a deep tissue massage. The best part here is that you get to control the pressure. So you can close your eyes, settle into 3 more breaths. Taking another deep breath in, deep breath, let it out. And your inhale, pressing into your left palm, releasing the head, making your way to your seat, setting the block off to the side and finding your tabletop pose again. Couple more rounds of cat-cow, setting up your tabletop, hands directly under shoulders, knees directly under hips. You find your own 3 rounds, connecting your breath with the movement. So your inhale allows the belly to drop, crown the raise up towards the sky. And your exhale really allows the spine to round, the head and the neck to release. 2 more rounds, your own breath, your own tempo. And when you have finished that second round, no rush, we'll meet in that neutral tabletop. When you get to your neutral tabletop, bring the knees together and wag the hips from side to side. It's a nice way to release the hips. And then bringing the hips back to center. Taking those knees, hips distance apart again. This time we'll stretch the right foot out behind us, pressing into the ball of the right foot, feeling a stretch through the toes and the arc of the foot all the way up to the back of the calf. If your wrists aren't happy here, you can feel free to lower on down to the forearms. Give those wrists a bit of a break. That is always an option. Taking one more breath here. One more breath out. And on your next inhale, lift your right foot, swing it over to the left, pressing back into the ball of the foot and taking your gaze over the left shoulder. Nice twist. Taking another deep breath in. Deep breath out. And on your inhale, bring your right knee back under the right hip. And take the knees together again. Sway the hips from side to side. And bringing the hips back to center. Taking those knees out, hips distance apart. Inhale, lengthen the left leg out behind you, pressing into the ball of the left foot. Feeling the stretch through the foot and the calf. Again, it's too much on the shoulders. Lower on down your forearms. Taking one more breath in. One more breath out. On your inhale, pick up the left foot, swing it over to the right. Take the gaze over the right shoulder. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Your inhale, release. Bring your left knee right under your left hip. Bring the knees together, drop the hips from side to side. Let's give those arms a break. We'll take another myofascial release before unwinding and surrendering to our Shavasana. So we'll make our way onto our seats. Find your tennis ball again. We're gonna get a nice release for the piriformis muscle that's located deep in the inner glute. It's part of your pelvis, keeping your pelvis nice and healthy. It is also the start of a lot of pain that we get in our hips, our low back, sciatic nerve, IT band. It goes all the way down the sides of the legs to right above the knee. So releasing this piriformis muscle is really, really beneficial. If you have two balls at home, even better, but we'll start with one. We'll just do a cheek at a time. So making your way onto your back, keeping your knees up towards the sky. Settling on in here, taking a breath, just letting your low back release to acclimate to being flat on the mat. And then when you don't feel any pressure or pinging in the low back, on your inhale, start to bring the hips up towards the sky as if you're coming into your bridge pose, just so you can take your tennis ball and slide it under the right glute. So kind of right near the center, near the meaty part. Everything's meaty on the glute, so we're pretty much safe here. And then lowering the glute down onto the tennis ball. From here, we'll begin to rock the hips from side to side. So again, finding your edge. Piriformis muscle, you may feel it right away when you bring that tennis ball under the glute. Some of us may need to move the tennis ball a little further down, maybe a little further up. Again, different for everybody. My piriformis, the muscles that get super tight tend to be a little further up on the glute. Now, you have the option to keep that movement, rocking the hips from side to side. If you find a spot that's super knotted, you can surrender and stay still in that spot. Breathing through it. Do not hold your breath. Finding those deep, even breaths that we've been taking since the start. You can even rest your hand on the belly if you found that spot to stay still in. Feeling the belly rise on your inhale. And fall on your exhale. Taking just another breath. Either rocking side to side or finding your stillness. And then coming to stillness, pressing into the feet, activating the thighs, rolling the hips up towards the sky, so you can release the tennis ball. Then take the tennis ball under the left glute, lower the glute, and down to the tennis ball. Again, you may have bullseyed it right away. Sometimes I do, and then, I yell out. So that's allowed. Or you may have to readjust, moving the tennis ball a little further up, maybe a little further down. Again, rocking the hips from left to right. Go as slow or as quick as you need. You can surrender into, there it is, into a super knotted part. Again, do not hold your breath. It won't be helpful. Move those deep breaths through the body. You need help with that. Place those hands on the belly. Feel the belly rise on your inhale. Fall on the exhale. A few more breaths in stillness or taking the rock from side to side. And then come to stillness. And this time we'll inhale, pressing into the feet, activating the thighs, using the thighs to lift the hips on up towards the sky. And we'll stay here in this bridge pose for a breath. So the hands can press into the mat, or they can clasp under the low back. The tennis ball's not right there. Finding a deep breath in. Breath out. One more inhale. And on your exhale, make sure that tennis ball is out of the way, beginning to lower everything down to the mat. And then gently drop the knees from side to side, giving the glutes a nice massage. Setting your tennis ball off to the side. If the dog gets it this time, it's okay. We're done with it. And then bringing your knees back to stillness. This time hugging your knees into your chest, giving them a squeeze, taking a gentle rock from side to side. Taking a breath in. On your exhale, allow both knees to fall to the right. Left shoulder, left arm extends to the left. For your supine twist. If this left shoulder and left arm are off of the floor, you can take your block. I don't know where mine went. Oh, it's down there. You can take your block. You can place it under the bottom leg to help elevate the knees. Elevating the knees will help naturally bring your shoulder and your arm back to the ground. Or you can take the block, you can put it in between the legs. That will also help the shoulder release. And your gaze can be wherever the neck is happy. So it can be up towards the sky. It can go out towards that left arm. Settling into 3 breaths. Realigning the spine. Getting a nice stretch through the left side body. Also a great stretch to release the work we did on the piriformis. A nice release for the upper body as well. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. On your inhale, bring your head back to center. Knees back into the chest. Give them a squeeze, taking a gentle rock from side to side. Deep breath in. And on your exhale, drop your knees over to the left. Then allow the right shoulder, the right arm to extend to the right. The side may feel totally different from the other. If not, again, your block is an option. You can place it under the left thigh to elevate those hips, or you can take it in between the legs. That'll help keep the hips stacked a little more, but you'll find that nice release through the right shoulder and the right arm. 3 breaths here. Taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. On your inhale, bringing your head and your knees back to center. Giving those legs one more squeeze, gentle rock from side to side. And then finding your Supine or your butterfly pose, allowing the soles of your feet to come together, the knees to come out wide. Hands can rest along the side, or you can place one on the belly, one on the heart. 3 deep breaths here. You can stay here as long as you need, or you can begin to bring your knees up towards the sky, releasing the legs out to the top corners of the mat, allowing the feet to flop off to the side. Arms can rest along your side, or they can stay rested on the belly and the heart. Setting up for your Shavasana. We'll leave you here for as long as you need. But once you find that spot where you can settle in for a few minutes, take one last deep, deep breath in. Exhale it all out the mouth. Shavasana. Appreciate all of you for finding your mats today. I hope to see you in person on your mat soon. Namaste.